My left one does click occasionally. Being put on the spot, I bet it doesn't now, but... Ooh, that was actually quite a good one, there you go. It doesn't do it all the time, and certainly not as much as it used to. I used to freak out kids so much doing that, it was great. But yes, there you go. My elbow clicks and hyperextends a little bit, but I can't really show because I'm wearing a shirt, so... Who are my favourite musicians or bands? Well, obviously the number one is the Beatles. It just is. It will forever be. But in terms of favourite music, I don't have a favourite genre. I just love music. You play me something and I will say if I like it. And 99.9% of the time I do. There's very little music that I don't like. I used to hate Frank Sinatra, but I actually really like it now. I don't like him. He was a complete chauvinist pig, but you know, it happens. But yeah, I love music. Just on the whole, I really do. It's a huge part of my world and my ethos and stuff. And yeah, I love music. If I had to boil down some sort of genre that I don't go for, it's the... I mean, they call it R&B, but proper rhythm and blues I love. I really do. And some modern R&B I do. It's the type where it's like, is there even a melody? I can barely tell what you're saying, it barely has any rhythm, and ugh, what is the message? You have bitches in your cars and your bitches getting home with the downies, yo. What? No. Yeah, yuck. So that's the type of music I don't go for, and the extremely poppy, empty, air-headed, I am just doing this for the money, guys, but isn't that Joe Bros? Oh, no. It's like Twilight, but for music, which I hate also. Sorry if there's any Twilight fans out there, but it's verbal compost, come on. Ugh, sparkly vampires, no. Ugh, I'm probably losing fans, but I don't care because, yeah, Twilight, if you haven't read it, please don't. Just no. Even the actor who plays Edward hates it. Come on, what does that say? It's so bad. Linguist biased much. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Controversial. Did you ever consider dyeing your hair lime green or rainbow? I love lime green. Lime green is... If I had to say I had a favourite colour, it would certainly be among my top 5. I love it. Especially, like, because I love orange as well, so it'd be great to clash with everything I own, but it's a very difficult colour to go. You have to really bleach your hair to death and keep it that way. So, for the sake of my hair staying on my head, I think I'll not, but I would love to. And similarly with rainbow, you have to really have extremely pale blonde hair to get away with it, so I would like to, I would. If I could just, like, be an amazing manga character and just say, I would like my hair this colour today, and have Copic colours to go, that would be great. I would do that every single day of the week, probably more than once in a day, which would be ridiculous. But yeah, if I could, I would, is the answer. Did I read the manga or watch the anime for One Piece first? Or are you hiding the fact that you are a mad genius who cloned herself in the lab, did both at the same time, then transferred all the memory from your clone into my own brain, and am now hiding from the world government? I would love to say the latter, but as I once stated before, I was actually created by MI6, so I, alas, could not do that, and plus I don't actually own the copyright for my own DNA, so, you know, I would probably end up being sued for the recreation of myself, so that would be just complicated, so no. I did something strange for One Piece, because I watched the anime first, but I didn't watch it in order, because I watched it on a site that is, alas, now deceased, which I think was called DivX16 or something, and it was incredibly high quality, it was lovely, but they had a huge gap in the middle of episodes, so I watched them, like, devoured them up until about episode, must have just been after that filler arc with the dragons and stuff, which I don't mind, actually. A lot of people hate that, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as that pumpkin arc. What the heck was that? Die. Oh. No. And yeah, and then there was a huge gap, and it started resuming right at the end of the Arabasta arc, which was terrible, you know, because it has all this wonderful plot build-up. But yeah, I actually just carried on watching it where I could. So I've watched it out of order, and I still love it, and yeah, it was very strange, but I do wish I'd been able to watch or read it in order. If I had a brain at that point, which I never will do, and certainly didn't have, I would have read the manga. I would have stopped watching the episode and read the manga, but I didn't, because I'm a twit. But I now read the manga first and then watch the episodes when I can download them in uber shiny quality off Yibis, because Yibis is good. Yeah, so I'm a fool, because I didn't do it either way sensibly. So yeah, I'm clever. Got another question from R3TT3. I can't remember where you're from, I'm sorry, but yes, I do remember you. In my devious info section it lists that juggling is one of my interests. Do I juggle myself or do I just like it? Well, I do juggle and I also like it. I don't juggle hugely well and I haven't actually got any of my juggling balls around. I have some juggling clubs in Manchester that I'm learning to do. I was actually originally taught to juggle clubs by a cool Israeli guy when I was in Costa Rica. It was one of the weirdest situations in the world, and the clubs I was learning to juggle with were fire clubs. Albeit I didn't start with them on fire, obviously that would be just terrifying. It's the scariest thing in the world, not the fact that it's on fire, it's because when the end that's lit comes towards you it goes it's the noise that is terrifying, as well as the motion and the fact that it's incredibly hot and aiming towards your face. Yeah, that helps to terrify you. But yeah, so I learned in a very weird environment. I do juggle 3 balls and I can do like 3 in one hand, not 3 in one hand, 2 in one hand. Wow, not that good yet. And I know 1 or 2 very basic tricks, but I'm nowhere near as good as the vast majority of the world that can juggle. I would say I dabble in it very occasionally, but I admire it, I really do. So I'm interested in it as an art that I wish to further myself in at some point when I actually have some time. So that would be cool if I could actually manage to get up to 5 juggling balls. That's one of my aims. Cool. If you've ever seen the video of Zorro juggling knives, that's him. That's her boyfriend. Wow! Your boyfriend sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to go and search for that on YouTube later. Use the tubes of you. It's a good place to be. Ooh, not quite sure how to say this, but I think it's U047. And she says she's from the Isle of Man, which I do know where that is. She says, haven't heard of it, thought so. It's in between England and Ireland. But I suppose a lot of people haven't. But yeah, Isle of Man is a nice place, although, gosh, it's gotta be cold and windy at this time of year. Ooh, hang in there. What made you decide to start the Colorina One Piece comic? And what made you design Peacock as he is? Well, I don't know, maybe I'm a masochist. I can't even remember. Well, obviously I know why I started the comic, because I had a vague idea for a comic and I thought, oh, maybe that would be really good practice for like actually trying to pursue making a comic and keep it going and actually aim to finish it and improve myself as I go along. So that's one of the reasons. And yeah, one of the reasons is I actually kind of wanted to see the idea come out, which is the reason for a lot of pieces of art. Obviously you just have an idea and it's like, oh, that would be quite cool. I wonder if other people would like to see that. So yeah, that's the whole reason I started, and hopefully I'll eventually finish. I did, I really need to just not have a cold right now. This is the bad time to get ill. I can't even remember what I was saying. Sarah is ill and has no brain. I died. Oh, I actually did start doing some blue sketches over the weekend when I could to do the next 2 pages, but I have no idea when I'm going to